Okay, so today we're going to be making crepes. We're going to be using a blender for this recipe so we don't have to do manual labor for it. So the first thing we have to do is add the flour, milk, eggs, and salt to the blender. So we're going to add the flour, the dry ingredients first, the flour and the salt. For the salt, use a pinch. So I'm just going to pour out a little bit so I can grab it more easily.
A little bit.
That's a pinch.
A pinch of salt is literally a pinch of salt.
And then after that, we're going to add the milk and the eggs.
Slop. A wonderful sound.
We're going to make sure that we mix it up a bit with the spatula so that the flour doesn't stick too much to the edges. Because we don't want
sticky flour.
Like, we want to make sure that the flour doesn't stick too much to the edges, so I'm just going to scoop it around a little bit. But the blender will probably take care of most of it, so we shouldn't have to worry about it too much.
Can I do the blending?
Yeah. Okay. So after this, we're going to blend the flour mixture on low, which Brent is going to do, I suppose.
Yes. Make sure it's on low. I know. On slice/shred.
I'm so glad that we didn't actually measure this out while we were doing it.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. A beautiful batter.
We're gonna do it for a few more. Do it for a few more intervals, 2 to 3 seconds each. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go in with the spatula to scoop in the flour a bit more because there's still some on the edges. After that, we're going to blend it on low again and pour in the butter mixture. So we're just gonna make sure all the flour gets in there first. Okay, so we're gonna blend it again and then we're gonna put in the butter mixture. Okay, could you blend it, Brent? Okay, so that's the butter and the goes, and then blend it. Okay, let's do it for a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna check it. So we're just gonna give this one last blend before we put it in the refrigerator to make sure that the gluten activates.
How long are we going to be putting it in the refrigerator?
So we're going to be putting it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. So we're going to be putting it in this bowl, and then when we're doing that, we will slice the strawberries, which will be part of our crepe filling.
So next we're going to be slicing strawberries. But one thing to remember is that you must wash the strawberries because when it's picked, there may be bacteria or dirt or something, and you don't want to get sick.
Same goes for any vegetables that you may be eating. So I'm just going to get all the strawberries out and wash them out. Okay. So I'm going to rinse them and pick them through. Like, pick out each one. If we see any bad ones, like ones with like maybe, I guess, rotten parts, we will throw them out and put them in my compost. And then we're going to be using this nifty little drainer to make sure all the water drains through so we don't get them too wet. So now we're going to be slicing the strawberries. I'm just going to peel off the leaf first since no one really eats that. I'm going to be, so make sure when you're using the knife, don't put your fingers over here. Put them over here so that the knife part won't cut your finger. Most people don't usually cut them off. I'm just going to be cutting these like ones in quarters, halves I guess you could say, right? And then after that we can get them and put it in a bucket while we wait for our crepe batter to set.
So we've let our crepe batter sit in the fridge for 30 minutes. You can leave it in up to an hour, but we just decided to do it 30 minutes if you're in a hurry. And as you can see, it's a nice good consistency.
It's not
liquidy.
really liquid. It's not like super liquidy like liquid. Now it's a little bit more thick. And so we're greasing the pan with butter so that they'll crisp up and they won't stick to the pan.
Okay, so now we're gonna start heating up the pan after we get our batter over here so that we have enough space for everything. We have 2 spatulas to flip the crepes with. So we're gonna heat it up now on medium heat. Just gonna let that get going for a minute or so. Making sure that the butter doesn't do anything. Okay, so we're gonna get the batter and we're gonna pour it on the pan, then after that we're gonna tilt the pan like in a circular motion. So you have to do this a bit quicker than what I'm doing. So I wanna try to get it even. And I started off at the wrong place a bit, so it's not gonna be perfect. So I'm just gonna let it be there because I put a bit too much batter on here. So usually it takes a minute or so for the bottom to get golden brown, but I am going to see if I can check it. Because some recipes call for shorter spans of time than other recipes. Okay, so this isn't quite cooked yet, so we're gonna let it sit for a bit more.
As you can see around the edges, it's kind of like when we did our pancake video. You look for a little bit of a crisp and you look for bubbles. Except not bubbles on the top, there will be bubbles underneath.
Here, the butter. Okay. So Brent, did you get the plate? Just put it right there. Okay. So let's see if we can get a look at the bottom. So it's still not the golden brown that we're looking for. So this recipe calls for 1 to 2 minutes. So we might check it in a few more, a minute or so again. Oh, see, it's starting to crisp up. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip it. Okay, and this one didn't turn out that bad actually. So this one, we could put it on for a bit longer. So this one looks like it's a bit undercooked. So for our next one, now we kind of know what time, a bit more 2 minutes-ish rather than 1 or 30 seconds.